What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today when we talked about Virgin Galactic, ticker is SPCE. Q3 earnings just came out. I want to give you an overview of some of the current data points, what the highlights of their earnings are saying, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is up 20.19%, a lot of volatility. So $1.76 the low, 208 is the high, and 12.31 million shares being traded, 9.6 is the average. And during my last Virgin video, I talked on some expectations and best case scenario for these Q3 earnings, and it came to realization. So definitely was pretty excited to see a lot of these kind of points. So ultimately, cash and cash equivalents, 1.1 billion. Very good for that. And obviously that's incorporating the recent S3 that did come out. Over and above that though, revenue of 1.7 million, which is still rather low, but I guess comparing it on a year-over-year basis, still fairly positive, and based on the benchmark, it is a lot higher. So just to give you a quick overview, it looks like they beat by 36% their earnings per share and 63% on their revenue. And of course, one thing that I did say when it comes down to their earnings, their future guidance, that was going to be a key attributor to them going up. And I kind of just threw out the number 5 million. So I was assuming, saying that best case scenario, what if they raise the future guidance for Q4 to 5 million? The stock will just go up like crazy. So what did they end up doing? They didn't do 5 million, but close enough. They did 3 million. So they're assuming 3 million for Q4. So once again, like I said, Q1 2024, big things are going to be coming from then on forward. So in reality, I think this is definitely a very well diverse kind of earnings, if that makes sense. Of course, it still has a lot of cash burn issues and whatever else, but technically it's still moving in the right direction, better than and faster than expected. So again, that's something to kind of keep in mind. And a lot of the business updates still very good overall. But over and above that, let's go over some additional data points. Starting off with options activity, $616,000 in calls being purchased versus 84 in puts. So based on this, people are extremely optimistic. 84% of all the options activity so far are optimistic. Looking right here, this is just the calls. A lot of people are anticipating for it to be above around $2 by the end of this Friday. So keeping in line with where it is at. And for the puts, not too much. Even when it comes down to them, a lot of people are assuming around the $2 range is where it's at. So again, that's definitely a very positive thing. And looking right now with it at $1.87, it is between, well, it's kind of flirting with this R2 right now. So $1.75 is going to be that next strong support, which it kind of bounced off of this morning. Vice versa, 204, it bounced off of the high. So it's kind of trading between this R1 and the R3. So we'll kind of wait and see what it does close at, but there's a lot of good optimism. And like I said, them raising guidance for Q4 is absolutely one of the best scenarios that could have came down from all of this. So I'll give you a quick overview as well of what shorts are doing. So as it stands, shorts are increasing, 238,000 shares, 21.07% of the free floats being shorted, and 70.36 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 1.38%, so not necessarily the highest, but through the interactive broker short availability does indicate that there's around 1.5 million shares available to be shorted. So as it stands, I don't feel like based on the earnings, it's a squeeze play, but technically the fact that shorts have roughly around 1.5 million in ammunition and they're not really using it kind of is a positive thing. Once again, kind of justifies the actual earnings and the green day. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Definitely today, as long as it can hold above that R2, it's going to really set the trajectory for the technicals to change. So in reality, this couldn't have come at a better time for Virgin. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying, selling, holding? What is your take on those earnings? As well, is there any other highlights from their earnings that stood out to you? If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And even though Virgin Galactic goes up, down, sideways, all over the place, take advantage of this promo. It is only up until November the 20th. So just sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it. You get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, and you also get 1 free share of SOFA SoFi. So for $100, you get 6 stocks plus any cash that you do have in this account. You are earning 5.1% APY. So this is one of the best deals, only up until November the 20th. Link in the description below and also the comments. And with all that said, let's make a ton of money on Virgin Galactic.